You know why most people fail at entrepreneurship, despite what all the Lamborghini driving, private jet flying, vacation filming people tell you? It's because you probably shouldn't be one. Now, it's not because you're not smart or that you're lazy or that you're incapable. Look, nothing's wrong with you, but you're probably not cut out to be one. And that's okay, because entrepreneurship probably wouldn't bring you any happiness into your life. And you need to understand this, because if you did become an entrepreneur without knowing this, you would live a very unfulfilled, unhappy, unpurposeful, unpassionate life. And here's why. I've made over 7 figures online in my business with just one digital product doing a little over 900K, and this will probably rub some people the wrong way. You know, their panties will be all in a bunch, but look, unbunch your panties and relax before you jump to conclusions. And this will only take me about 5 minutes to break down. So if you don't have 5 minutes to spare, then things will probably just end up going really bad for you. And you're kind of proving the point that I'm gonna make in this video if you don't have 5 minutes to focus. But look, I was having a conversation with some of my entrepreneur buddies, and I brought up the topic of why don't people find success in their business as entrepreneurs? And while we were talking about this, one guy, he said, people, they're just lazy. People, they're just lazy and they don't really want to do the work that it really takes to be successful. And I wholeheartedly disagree with that whole statement right there. Like, I don't think that people are lazy. I don't think that people don't want to put in the work. I think that people are confused. When people get confused, they get anxiety. When people get anxiety, they don't move. When people don't move, it looks like they're lazy. So I don't think that people are out here lazy. I think that people are just confused. And when it comes to that success part, why people don't reach their success, I don't think it's that they're not willing to put in the work to reach success. I don't think that a lot of people actually define what success means to them. And entrepreneurship has really been put in a false light because of social media and YouTube, right? And that is why I think a lot of people are confused, because of this false picture that all of these creators are making entrepreneurship look like. A lot of people haven't defined what success is to them because they're thinking that success is this false narrative that all of these entrepreneurs and content creators have painted on YouTube and social media, right? Everybody's bossed up. Everybody wants to be a boss. Everybody wants to be a boss, and being an entrepreneur, it's just so cool. But look, when I was a kid, entrepreneurship wasn't cool. I don't even think there was a word for it, or if there was a word, like, I'm sure the word entrepreneur had probably existed, but nobody around my way or nobody in my community or my surroundings or my environment had ever heard of it. Like, I remember when I was a kid, you know how the teachers would ask you what you want to be when you grow up? I knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I had no word for it. I couldn't communicate with my teacher on what the word is. So what do you want to be, little Sally? I want to be a police officer. What do you want to be, little Jason? I want to be a firefighter. What do you want to be? I'm like, I don't know. I want to be the boss. They're like, you want to be the boss? Who's boss? I'm like, I don't know. I want to be the boss. I knew that I didn't want to work for somebody. So I remember one day, my 3rd grade teacher, Miss Sanders, she asked me this, and I was told her this whole deal about how I want to be the boss. And then she was like, who's boss? I was like, I don't know. Who's your boss? She's like, you want to be the principal? I'm like, no, I don't want to be the principal. Who's the principal's boss? Right? I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I did not know a word to communicate the thought that I had into my brain. And one of the first guys that really inspired me was this guy named Mike. When I was a kid in my neighborhood, I'm from Lexington, Kentucky. On Smith and 5th Street, there was a little corner store right there. And Mike, he owned the corner store. And I thought it was so cool to be Mike, because Mike, he owned something. He sold stuff to everybody in the neighborhood. But I didn't know what Mike was called. I just was like, okay, I want to do what Mike does. He works for himself. He doesn't have a boss. I want to be Mike. My first example of an entrepreneur was Mike on the corner of 5th and Smith Street in Lexington, Kentucky. But now entrepreneurs are looked at as these people that have all of these fancy cars like Lamborghinis, and they fly these private jets, and they take all of these extravagant trips, and they're toasting champagnes on yachts and whatnot. And these people, they're painting a false narrative of what entrepreneurship actually is. They're selling lifestyle. They're not selling entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship doesn't mean that you have to drive a Lambo and wear funny looking clothes looking goofy all over the internet. And plus, I know a lot of these guys. I'm telling you, that stuff does not make you happy, because some of these guys that I have in mind right now, some of these Lamborghini driving guys that everybody thinks look so cool on social media and Instagram, they are miserable. And everybody's goal is to be happy, right? Well, not mine. I don't actually have a goal to be happy, but I'll talk about that a little later in the video. But a lot of these guys ain't happy, and all that stuff that they show you all, they just use that stuff for their marketing and advertising, and they're not even really having a good time on the other side of that camera, on the other side of that footage that they're shooting. Because I've been on certain trips with certain people, and it's just exhausting, every single thing that they do. Did you get the camera? Did you get this? Oh, I wasn't smiling right here. Oh, can we toast right here? Can we toast like this? And their brand that they're putting out a lot of the time is not even who they are. They're always putting on a front for social media. They're always putting on a front for YouTube. I remember I was in Dubai with some of these guys, and we were having the conversation, and they had these mics on, the camera was rolling and stuff. And this one particular guy, he forgot that his mic was on, and he was just saying some stuff, being his regular self. And then he caught himself in conversation. He's like, oh no, you're not recording. You didn't get that right. Oh no, this ain't going. I don't need my followers to think that I'm like this. And I'm just sitting there in my head, and I'm like, dude, you are like this. Like, I've been around you for 3.5 days now. This is who you are. But he doesn't want anybody to think that this is how he is. I'm like, man, that has to be a terrible life to live, that you have to live a persona instead of just being who you actually are, because you want to sell some fake lifestyle that you're really not even living. And it all comes down to this: their ego and who other people think that they are is how they define who they are. They don't define who they are by who they actually are. They define who they are by what other people think that they are. I've even heard certain entrepreneurs say dumb stuff like, oh man, I can't go to the store looking like this because people gonna think I'm broke. Oh no, I gotta put on the outfit. I'm like, bro, you just go into Walgreens. Just go to Walgreens. But they're thinking if somebody catches them in Walgreens and they don't look how they look on social media, then somebody else is going to think that they're not successful, which in turn will hurt their ego, and they will think that they're not successful because the stranger in Walgreens that they don't know thinks that they're not successful. You see how mind-fucked and delusional these people are? And it goes back to the beginning of the video where I said that majority of people don't define what success is for them. They're looking at somebody else's lens of what success is. Because look, success is going to have a different definition to anybody that you ask. But majority of people, they're coming up with their definition of what they want by what somebody else has, or what they perceive that somebody else has, because they don't even know that the person that they think has that. So I take it back to me when I was early, like in the beginning of my entrepreneur journey. And this is something that I really need you to pick up on. You don't need to be rich to have all of your material needs met. So I fired my job April 1st, 2016. I say fired my job because I ain't no quitter. I fired them. But in 2017, I had actually became successful by what I defined as success. The world didn't think that I was successful. But look, I wasn't making much money. I would probably make anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000 a month. But my monthly expenses were only like $1,000 a month. So I could basically do whatever I wanted to do. And the whole reason why I got started in entrepreneurship was so that I could do what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it, on my own time. I want to go to sleep whenever I want to go to sleep, and I want to wake up whenever I wake up without setting an alarm. Since 2016, I have not set an alarm outside of if I have like a early flight or something like that. That's what I got in it for. I wanted to be my own boss, like actually be my own boss, not just say the word and whatnot. I wanted to have control over my whole life. That's why the whole Aston CEO comes in point. I know I'm in the business lane or the business niche and I talk all this business stuff, but the CEO is being the CEO of yourself. That's where the name comes in. But look, I was making like maybe around $3,000 to $5,000 a month. Some months might be a little lower, some months might be a little higher, right? But my monthly expenses were only around $1,000 a month, not much. All my bills were paid. I was happy. I had disposable income. Could go to the grocery store and not look at the prices of whatever I was buying, just throw it in the cart. I can go to the restaurants, not care about what the prices were on the menu. Just, let me get that, and that. Or if I'm debating, I don't know which one I want to try, I'll just get both of the meals. My life was good and I was happy. And most importantly, I was free. But to the world, I may not be considered successful. But in actuality, when I look back on it, the only thing that separated the life that I was living then versus somebody that's all rich and successful, the super successful rich entrepreneur, the only differences in our lives is the comfortability of travel. They might drive a nicer car than I drive, but I was free. I don't have a car payment. They do have a car payment. On the airplane, I might fly coach, they might fly first class. I don't have as much leg room. They have a little bit more leg room, but we're on the same plane getting to the same destination at the same time. Or somebody that's a little bit more successful, they might go ahead and rent the private jet. They might get there quicker than me. But the only difference in our lifestyles is comfortability of travel. I could still do what I wanted to do, when I wanted to do it, how I wanted to do it, on my own time, but I was free. One of my favorite movies is American Gangster. Denzel Washington, in that movie, has this line where he says, "Nobody owns me though." I used to love to watch that movie, and I love that line. "Nobody owns me though." And one of my best friends, Tino, shout out to Tino if he happens to be watching this, he used to be like, "Nobody owns you." Like he knew that was my line from that movie. Like I prided myself on being free. But then I wanted to make more money. Why was that? Outside of my ambition, my blind ambition, it was because I started to get around more successful entrepreneurs. And guess what? They were telling me, "Hey man, you need to make more money." Why do I need to make more money? So you can do what you want. I wasn't thinking at the time, I already do what I want. "Oh, you need to make more money." Why do I need to make more money? So you can travel and take these vacations. I already travel and I take vacations. "Oh, you need to make more money." Why do I need to make more money? So you can wake up when you want to wake up and just live the entrepreneurial lifestyle. I already wake up when I want to wake up and live the entrepreneurial lifestyle. But your environment influences you. That whole, are you a product of your environment? Yes, you are. That's why you need to be careful and cautious on where you choose for your environment to be. Because I started to lose sight of what I had defined success for me. And I started to look at success through the lens of other people. So then you start to see what all these other successful entrepreneurs are doing. How are they making all this more money? Oh, what are they saying? What are their strategies? Instead of getting out of my zone of genius, what is it that they're doing? Okay, I need to scale. I need to make money faster. I need to scale. I need to acquire this debt because I can use this debt to make more money, because all these entrepreneurs talk about how you can leverage all this debt to get rich, because here in America, we live in a debt wealth society. Well, guess what? Okay, you go get some debt. You make money faster. But now somebody owns me because I'm not working for me anymore. I'm working for this company that gave me that loan. I'm working for Chase. I'm working for American Express. I'm working for the mortgage company. So now I'm not actually doing what I want to do. I'm doing what I have to do, because if this money slows up, these people still want their money. So now somebody actually does own me and I'm not fulfilled. And this is the thing that you need to find. You need to find fulfillment. Like early in the video, I said that like most people's goals are happiness, right? Like they want to be happy. I don't have a goal to be happy. I have a goal to be fulfilled, because if I feel fulfilled, then a byproduct of that is going to be my actual happiness. And I have this whole different perspective on what happiness actually is now, because I used to love this movie and I really used to get inspired when I was younger off this movie called The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith. And then I got a little older and I rewatched that movie and I was like, man, Will Smith went through all this stuff. He was broke. He's sitting there with his baby in the bathroom with a dude trying to use the bathroom. He got it locked just so they can sleep in the bathroom. He goes through all this stuff, and then at the end of it, he gets the job and he's happy. And I was like, dang, that seemed kind of whack. He did all that to get a job? Like ever since then, my whole perspective of like happiness has changed. Because when I was younger, I was like, oh, it was such an inspiring story. And then when I know that I want to be an entrepreneur, I'm like, that looks like hell to me. Like he did all that to have a job. And then he works for a bunch of like Poindexter looking people that don't even look cool. Like I probably wouldn't hang out with them dudes that Will Smith had to work for, right? So ever since then, instead of looking for happiness, I look for fulfillment, because I come to find that when I am fulfilled, then my happiness is a byproduct of that. And you know that you have found fulfillment when you have something to look forward to and something to work towards that thing that you're looking forward to. All right, so nothing that I do is for money, and that's one of the main reasons, if not the tippity top reason why most people fail at entrepreneurship and shouldn't be entrepreneurs, is because they're thinking of doing it for money instead of thinking of doing it for fulfillment. You don't want to get started into entrepreneurship to make money. You want to use your money for your fulfillment. You want to use your money as that thing that's going to make you feel fulfilled as a person within, as a human being. Trust me, you do not want to start a business to make money. You do not want to be an entrepreneur to make money, because it is going to be hell. And I know what fulfills me. What fulfills me is performance. What fulfills me is building things. What fulfills me is competition. I'm a very competitive person. What fulfills me is figuring out myself. What fulfills me is finding truth. These are the reasons why I am an entrepreneur, not to make money. Plus, everybody that's out here just hopping into entrepreneurship trying to make money, you need to realize there's a lot of ways to make money. Like, you don't have to be an entrepreneur. You don't have to be on this entrepreneurial journey just to make money. Like, if all that you want to do is get an immediate result for something that you do today to get some money, just get a job. That's why a lot of people out here failing in entrepreneurship, they're thinking of it like it's a job, because at a job, you clock in, you do your work, you get paid for sure. Entrepreneurship, there's gonna be some work that you may be doing for some time without seeing any actual results. You can't get into a game like that if you're only thinking of making money. You're going to quit, you're going to fail miserably. So all these people that just wanna make money, like they have no purpose behind it. They have no reason for any fulfillment. They're just thinking of how they can make some money real fast. Just go get a job. And also that mentality, a lot of people get into entrepreneurship because they need to make some money fast. It's not even like I want to make some money fast. They're in some type of terrible predicament that they've put themselves in. And they're thinking of some convoluted scheme on how they can hurry up and make some money so they can get out of their situation. Well, guess what? If you looked up and did find some success as an entrepreneur, things are going to get way worse for you, because you are still that person that makes those terrible decisions. So you're still going to be that person as an entrepreneur that's going to make those terrible decisions. So you need to do the self-inner work and figure yourself out so you won't be the same way as an entrepreneur. Because entrepreneurship is the ultimate self-development journey that you will ever go on in your entire life. Trust me on that one. And when I go back to the don't do it for money, and there's a lot of ways to make money, I remember I was having a conversation with one of my homegirls one day, and she was talking about how she wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I asked her why. And she could not come up with any other reason outside of she just wants to make money and she wants to be rich. That's all that she could come up with. And I was like, well, okay, you don't want to be an entrepreneur. You want to be rich and you want to have a lot of money, right? She was like, yeah. And through our conversation, she also was like, she doesn't really want to do any work, right? She just wants to make a lot of passive income by doing nothing and just be a rich person, right? Look, this is what she actually told me. She said she wants to be a rich, sexy person. That's her goal in life. So I was like, okay, well then you don't need to be an entrepreneur. Just go get married. Find a dude that's rich and successful, marry him, and then you will be a rich, sexy woman with money. Like, she didn't need to be an entrepreneur. Like, why do you want to start a business? Like, she lives in Houston, Texas. I like, just go to the Post Oak Hotel and just find a baller. Make them fall in love with you and marry him. Just hang out at Post Oak Hotel and hang out at Mastro's and find a baller, make them fall in love with you and marry him. Boom. You will now be a rich, sexy person with a lot of money. It doesn't take entrepreneurship to do that. But if you don't know why you're getting into it, and if you don't know what it is that makes you fulfilled and you're working towards that, entrepreneurship is going to be miserable for you, because there's a lot of people out here that hate the grind, as they call it, because they're out here doing things that they don't like doing just to make some money. And guess what? The grind shouldn't feel like a grind. Nothing that you enjoy doing feels like a grind to you. Nothing that I do in my business feels like a grind because I enjoy doing it. I'm never out here on my grind, bro. Like a grind, that sounds terrible. All that hustle culture, grind culture crap that people be saying all over the internet, it's so stupid. Like, no, you should not be grinding your face off. No, you should not be hustling harder. You should be resting. Resting is one of the most productive things that you can do as an entrepreneur. Your body needs you to rest. There's only so much work that you can do per day. Plus, there's even a lot of science behind. Most people don't even have more than 4 hours worth of intense, focused work in them per day. You can work for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours, but I'm talking, what are you really getting done in that time frame? I only work between 2 to 4 hours per day. Honestly, 2 to 3 hours per day, because 4 hours, if I'm like actually deeply, intensely focused on something, I max out around 3 hours. So I typically work like 2 to 3 hours per day, and I get more done in a day than most people get done in a week, because I know what it is that I'm working on and I'm focused on my actual task. And how I said entrepreneurship is the ultimate self-development tool that you would ever use in your life, it's so true, because you are going to be on a never-ending battle with yourself. Because in entrepreneurship, the game is really, it's you against you. It's an internal battle that you're going to be having with your mindset constantly, nonstop. The great philosopher Kendrick Lamar Duckworth from Compton told this guy named Drake, he said, "Fuck a rap battle, this a lifelong battle with yourself." And that bar that Kendrick Lamar said to Drake in Meet the Grams, that's what entrepreneurship is right there. It's a lifelong battle with yourself. It's not Lamborghinis. It's not private jets. It's not toasting on yachts. It's not taking all these crazy vacations. Yeah, you can have some perks with it. I would not trade being an entrepreneur for anything in my life. I love it. But I got back focused to my why. And you need to know, what is your why? Why are you doing this? What is your definition of success? What fulfills you? What is it that you're actually working towards? What is it that you actually want? And I'm keeping it a buck with you. It ain't for everybody, but for those that it is for, I can guarantee you this: you will never have a greater feeling in your life than achieving what your success is. Once you figure out what you want to be successful at, you can get numbers coming in online in your business like all them that you see on the screen right now. So if you're ready to make more, working less online from stuff that you already know, go ahead and click the link down in the description. Join this credit at the top community. For weekly coaching from myself, all my exclusive trainings, plus a private community of entrepreneurs, all designed to grow your business online. It's only $47 a month to join right now. That's less than a cup of coffee per day. So click the link down in the description to tap in, and I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. But look, I just had to make this video because I'm like, man, I really hate the space that all of this crap is out here on the internet about this fake picture of what entrepreneurship is. And when you see all those bells and whistles and people aren't actually providing any actual game or value or information about it, ask yourself, what is it that they're selling? And a lot of the times they're not selling anything but a bullshit lifestyle that is just their marketing. And then people buy that shit thinking that they can get that success when they don't even know what it is that they actually want. And I'm telling you, a lot of them guys, they don't even want that stuff because they've actually put themselves in a big box that they can't escape because they have to keep up that lifestyle. And then end up sounding like that dummy that told me he couldn't go to Walgreens because he looked bummy. And what if somebody saw him and put him on social media looking bummy? Like, dude, you got the whole game messed up. And this guy has a nice sized audience. And I'm like, and you're influencing a bunch of other people, selling them some false hope. And even if somebody does have success at that, You're turning them into other versions of you that's just gonna keep on fucking up the game for other people. So if you made it to this far in the video, you know that you're going to be a successful entrepreneur. So just put your blinders on, stay focused on your actual journey, stay focused on what it is that you want to actually do, and don't get confused by all the BS out here. Don't get sidetracked by all the BS out here. Stay on your track, your journey that is intended for you and your purpose. So go ahead and click the link down in the description if you want to tap into the community. And I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. Go ahead and check out this video right here for 3 tiny digital products that you'll make at least 100K with. It's credited at the top.